Nathan Zegura here at Tottenham Hotspur in London, where the Browns lose a disappointing game 21-17 to the Minnesota Vikings. It was a game in which the Browns scored early. It was Dillon Gabriel who looked very good leading this offense, finding Harold Fannin for a 1-yard touchdown. They were up 7-0. Now the Vikings would tie it. The Browns would later get an Andre Schmidt field goal and take their first halftime lead of the season into the locker room, 10-7. Quinshon Judkins, by the way, runs for over 100 yards in this game, had a 50-yard touchdown called back on a holding penalty. Could have had nearly 200 yards if penalties hadn't erased some of his runs. He was simply spectacular. So the Browns are up 10-7 at the half. Come out in second half. Vikings, they get the ball first. They go down the field and score. They take the lead now 14-10. The Browns answer it and take the lead 17-10. Dillon Gabriel finding on a third down David Njoku. Gabriel would throw 2 touchdowns in his first start. He would not turn the football over. The Browns defense, however, would take the football away from the Vikings twice, once in the first half and again in the second half. Both of them were fumbles that the Browns recovered. So the Browns would win the turnover battle 2-0. Gabriel didn't turn it over, played effective, played efficiently. But in the fourth quarter, with the Browns up 17-14, they would have 4 different possessions. Those possessions would yield exactly 1 first down. And at the end of the game, Browns got the ball back with about 4 minutes to go, up 3. All they had to do was get a couple of first downs and salt this game away. They ran it again. The Vikings stopped it. Third down and incomplete pass. The Vikings would get the ball back. Now, they had to go 80 yards against the number 1 defense in the NFL. And earlier, the Browns got a break. They missed a field goal. So 2 takeaways and a missed field goal. Browns clinging to that 3-point lead. And again, 17 points. That's the most they've scored in a game this season. Browns couldn't get into the 20, and ultimately, as you know, the final score, they needed to. The Vikings, led by Carson Wentz, were able to get down the field, a big pass to Justin Jefferson, and then at the end, Jordan Addison, after a couple of big third down conversions, the Browns used all their timeouts. They would hit Jordan Addison for a touchdown to go ahead, take the lead 21-17 with just about 20 seconds left. Browns got out to about midfield, were not able to get a shot down into the end zone as time expired, and they lose this one. All we've talked about, take care of the football, and you are going to win. The Browns did take care of the football, and yet they still didn't do enough offensively. And I go back to those 4 possessions in the fourth quarter, just 1 first down. Get a couple of first downs. The Vikings don't even have time at the end of the game. They weren't as aggressive as maybe they needed to be in those moments, and the Browns were not able to get the job done. Disappointing again. You wanted your defense out there to be the closer. They couldn't do it. And this one really hurts because had the Browns gotten this win, they get to 2-3. You head to Pittsburgh next week. The AFC North totally up for grabs. A chance to beat them, get to 3-3, be a game out. Instead, the Browns fall now to 1-4 on the season, and they had the recipe. Great running game. Defense, for the most part, solid. Malik Collins had another 2 sacks. Browns 3 sacks in the games, 2 forced fumbles, but they could not get the ball in the end zone in that fourth quarter. I go back to it. Just couldn't get enough first downs, couldn't get enough yards, couldn't end the game. When you get the ball back with 4 minutes, the goal is never to give it back to the other team. Browns could not get a first down, and then the defense, unfortunately, could not hold. Disappointing one. Browns are going to fly back now after this game, the long flight back to Cleveland, and they'll have to turn the page quickly, get ready for an AFC North showdown, trying to get their first win in the division against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good trip to London, not a great one, because a great one would have ended with a win, and it was so close. That's why this one stings here for the Browns.